So, hello and welcome to the Talks Night podcast today. I'm joined with Mason Owens, and we're here to discuss his new EP that's coming out a month today, Off the Bat. So, how are you doing, man?
I'm Shana. Thank you very much for getting me on.
Yeah, thank you for taking time out of your day to talk about the EP. So, like we were just saying, it's called Off the Bat, and from listening, it's quite a raw sound. So, would you like to just tell us a bit about the EP?
Yeah, so obviously Off the Bat, it's a lot different than the previous songs that I brought out, which are more acoustic based. I know there'll be some people who'll listen to it and think like, what the fuck's going on there? You know what I mean? Like, just been listening to it for a song called Waiting for You. It's quite, softer than that. Yeah. And then this is a big contrast to these songs, so they're not for everyone. I'll tell people now, like, some people won't like it, but there will be some people who are into different, that type of music who will be into it. So it's one of them is more an experiment,
Heavier, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot heavier. And I've got, as well. I'm not gonna go into this direction as well. Like, I'm not just gonna. This isn't like me changing my sound and all that. I'm gonna still do my acoustic stuff as well. But this is just a sort of like a more experimental EP, just to throw out there, just to show people like I've got like a different sound as well to just the acoustic folk gear.
Yeah.
So it's one of them, as it's different. So some people might be like, "Wow, like, what's he up to here?" You know what I mean? But it's one of them, lad. Yes, put it up there, see what people think of it.
Nice. So how come you're doing it? A bit like you say, spontaneous release. Like, what drew you to go change your sound up a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, I showed them to because I've showed them to some other people and they were quite into them and they were going, yeah, you should have released them. And like, and obviously a lot different to what I've been doing before, but it's good to show you diverse as well, isn't it? Like, you don't want to sort of pigeonhole you into one genre, especially at this point in my career, because I'm only really starting off. You know what I mean? I'm not like a big I haven't released an album or anything. This is like my first EP, so and I'm thinking I'm bringing out other EPs as well. Like for my next EP I want to bring out after this is going to be more acoustic based as well. So there'll be quite a selection there. Quite a variety as well. So I'm trying to appeal to as many people as you can. So that sort of the institute, an experiment basically is what it was.
Yeah. So when I was listening, I was like, it sounds really like a band song, whereas obviously, like you said before, you were doing more acoustic stuff. Have you got a band doing it all yourself?
No, that's what I mean. I've got So when I was in the studio, I had someone, I had my brother playing the drums, and then I had some fella filling in on the bass. But like that's what I mean. Like I think for if I want to go down that sort of route, doing them sort of faster paced, hard, more heavier songs, then I would like a band. You know what I mean? I do need bands.
Definitely.
And I was thinking as well, maybe for the future, maybe not having those type of tunes under the name Mason Owens, maybe just having a band to do all that sort of gear called something else, maybe just be me, all the acoustic sort of gear, just solo stuff. But that's I mean, it's sort of see what happens in it, because as I'm putting this one out there as well, it will sort of get people onto, maybe people be expecting a band from it, because you're like, it's all like band music with like drums, bass, several guitars going on. So I couldn't be doing them as a solo gig. You know what I mean? I'm going to need a band to play them songs anyway. But I'm thinking maybe get a band just to maybe have a not just Mason Owens. I'd be like, you know what I mean? There'll be more of us. So that's also what I'm looking for in the future anyway.
Yeah, because like when I was listening, I was trying to figure like what your influences behind it, because it is like a lot heavier than like your older stuff. I know, like obviously in Liverpool you've got people like Miles Kane sort of thing. I thought it was quite Miles Kane-y. I don't know if you agree, or what were your influences behind it?
Yeah, sort of influences. I don't know. In terms of all the lyrics and the subject matter, like the influences, like just about fucking, I think, drugs, lad, to be honest, and just feeling horrible with yourself. Like, you know what I mean? That Metazapine antidepressant, sleeping tablet.
Yeah.
So I was taking them when I was in jail. I was taking them a lot because I had this problem. I I was in agony, you know, I had some and it took ages to go see the dentist in there, so for weeks I was in pain, you know what I mean, and I started getting on these tablets just to put me a kick because I couldn't sleep, you know what I mean, so that sort of, and then all, you know what I mean, like, I think most, all my favourite, most of my favourite artists.
One sec, mate. Are you still there? I think we've lost you. So you were just saying your favourite artists. That's like where it broke up.
Yeah, favourite artists. Yeah, so I think you know, any go back to the 70s, 80s, whatever. You know, all the people of today who they've been influenced by. All guitarists are influenced by Jimi Hendrix, Pink Floyd. You know what I mean? Frank Zappa, in some way, whatever one of them. They're all influenced by drugs and that as well. You know what I mean? So I think that plays as part of the subject matter. That plays a big part in it. But in terms of like the music influence, I couldn't say anyone specifically, like, because I don't know, like, I'm into quite a, as most people are, a wide variety of music, so I wouldn't have any specific influences for it. I should just pick up the guitar and just see what happens myself. So subconsciously, there's probably some little, like, whatever influences, it depends on the song and that as well, because as I said, they got that Girl from Exactly one, which is more of like a folky one, but then I've put an electric guitar in it, which is a bit more Arctic Monkeys, you know what I mean? And then it's like, and then that I've got a tune on there called Black Coffee, which is starts on the acoustic and that, which is a bit more like folky type. So I don't know, like, there's no specific influences I've got, like, that I could tell you, but I just sort of just play the guitar, see what comes out, man.
Nice. So how long have you actually been like in the music industry releasing songs?
2019, start 2019 when I released my first song.
Relatively new.
Yeah, very new, yeah, definitely, especially as a solo artist. I mean, in like about 3 or 4 years ago, I was in bands, but not like we weren't releasing music. We were just playing little open mic nights and that, you know what I mean, or like little small gigs. We weren't proper, we're releasing anything. So this is past year, since the start of 2019, when I've actually put my music out there and tried to get myself out there as a proper solo artist.
But it's probably like the best time to do. I know obviously this year has been a bit rubbish, but like in terms of the Liverpool music scene, it's definitely growing massively. Obviously, we've got like people like Jamie Webster. I think you're quite close with Jamie, aren't you? Did a show together, or you were planning on doing a show? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that, like Liverpool is massive because we've been speaking to loads of artists. Got like Columbia as well from Liverpool. It just seems to be like a really thriving, growing music scene compared to a place like Manchester as well. Because obviously I'm in Manchester at uni. And in terms of like upcoming bands, it seems to have like gone downhill because obviously Manchester used to be like the main one for like the indie rock scene, but Liverpool now is like the one, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, I think as you said about Jamie, like, at the moment he's the main, he's the main man, in Liverpool for music at the moment. And I think it helps as well with the football clubs as well. For him, it does, you know what I mean? Because obviously the success of Liverpool, that sort of helped his career at the start anyway, and then he's sort of used that to branch off and do more like proper music that isn't about like just the Liverpool cover songs and all that. But then there's loads of bands in Liverpool now with that are decent. There's that the Rats, good mates with Joe from the Rats. There's that band Spin as well. They're Scousers, aren't they? And they're like different vibe, you know what I mean? But they're belters as well. So I think it is thriving city at the moment, Liverpool. And what's good about it is that we all help each other out, you know what I mean? Like, it's not bitter, like Jamie's not the type of kid who wouldn't give me a support slot, you know what I mean, just to help me out just because like he doesn't have to, you know what I mean? But they would, you know what I mean? And then it's the same with the, like Joe and that in the Rats. And then I've got another mate there, Michael Stokes, who's just starting to release music as well. And we're all mates, you know what I mean? We're all helping each other out. We're not like try and put each other down, step on each other or anything. So yeah, it's good. And obviously with everything that's going on, you know, all the corona bollocks and all that, like it's bringing Liverpool together. You know, we're sort of, we always have been united, you know, sort of separate from the rest of England, but it's sort of bringing the people of the city together. We're all standing up for the same thing, and we're all, you know, we're all mates, you know what I mean? So it's one of the best places to be for music at the moment, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if you know much about like the Coventry, Midlands sort of music scene at the moment, but they're doing something very similar to what's happening in Liverpool, where you've got like a couple of bands who are relatively big, like Candid and stuff, but then like there's all these other artists like Jack Howell. We've interviewed them all, to be fair, because like when we first started out, we realised the Coventry music scene was like they're all helping each other to grow, and then I'm seeing a very similar trend with Liverpool, because it's like
Yeah.
Red Rum Club as well in Liverpool, and
Yeah.
all like helping each other grow. And to be honest, it's gonna like obviously not this year with no live music and events up, but next year and for the years to come, it's gonna be one of the biggest thriving music cities in the country again.
Yeah, fucking, hopefully, like, you know what I mean? If the Tories don't fucking take away our rights and all our music privileges and all that, but, you know, fucking, yeah, they should, you know, we're going in the right direction at the moment, so I agree. I don't really know too much about anything outside Liverpool, to be fair. Like, I'm not one of them who's like proper. I don't know a lot about all these other upcoming bands. Just in Liverpool, because obviously I live here, and like all my mates, you know, who were doing the same thing. I know from experience that Liverpool, like the music scene, they are helpful and they do help each other out. And we're not like we're not snide to each other. We won't put each other down.
Yeah, it's good to hear. It's good to hear. So, like, you just mentioned about Tory government. Actually, I'd just like to talk about one thing. Because I'm seeing Liverpool, they seem to have been hit like the hardest from government restrictions. So, what do you make of like the second lockdown?
Bollocks, lads. Absolute bollocks. It always has been. The first one was bollocks, lads. All shit, lads. All of it just never have started in the first place. It just it's caused so much more harm than good. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's just,
definitely.
that is slow as shit, lad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, how has like lockdown affected you as an artist? Obviously, I presume you've had loads of gigs cancelled and just stuff like.
Yeah. I mean, I was supposed to play Ireland in June, which was my first ever gig outside the city, you know what I mean, let alone the country. It'd be like essentially like a little tour, you know what I mean, going on like a little holiday to Ireland, playing a few gigs over there. I was looking forward to that. Obviously, we weren't allowed to do that. And then since then, there's been no proper gigs on, like at all. I have been doing a few cover gigs, you know, obviously just to get by, you know, but like from Thursday, they're locking down everything again, so I won't be able to do that for another month. So it's just hard. That's the only way I earn money really. Like I don't work doing it, you know. So it is hard because, you know, all bars are closed. People aren't going out enjoying the life, having nights out and that. I can't be there to provide any music, you know what I mean? So it's just sad really, but it's one of them. Just gotta get on with it, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like obviously your EP comes out 4th of December, and I think doesn't don't finish on like the 2nd. So
Yeah.
we're
So
planning on like getting out like immediately, trying to push the EP, playing live, or you got any plans in place, or is it like?
yeah, I mean it's hard. It's hard because it's still not like when it comes to December, it's still not confirmed whether or not like we can definitely have a gig that month. You know what I mean? Like so, it's hard to make plans now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That no worries. Yeah, it's hard to make plans now because it's sort of all not in the set in stone yet. So you know you can put a lot of time into organising the gig, and then the fucking government go, "Oh, hang on, you're fucking allowed to do it." You know what I mean? So it's just the waiting game, really, now.
Yeah,
And just trying to push it out there on all social media and getting people to try and support through, you know, downloading songs and all that. Because you won't be able to earn much money otherwise. And I know there isn't the most money in like streaming music anymore. You know, like Spotify and Apple Music and whatever. So you know, it's not going to earn you a lot of money, but it's the gigs where it's live performances where people are going to pay to see you. That's where you get your dough from. And so it's one of them, lads. Just got to do what we can at the moment, and just hopefully just wait till it all blows over and everything can return back to normal because no one can fucking be arsed with it anymore. I don't think anyone in Liverpool even takes it serious, to be honest, lad. Like they just don't add the shit of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the sooner we get back to normal, the better, because it's just been a shit year on it. It's just been a write-off, essentially. Really been.
I know, could have been put up a prosperous year for a lot of people in the city, but sadly not. It's one of them lads. Wait till next year, hopefully, or the year after, or whenever it gets sorted.
So I know it's obviously looking to the future is ideal right now. So I'd like you to look to the future for a second. Where do you see yourself in 10 years, musically?
Musically, 10 years. Oh, lads, I don't know, lads. Don't know, lad. I don't know. And obviously, everyone wants to, in 10 years, everyone wants to be fucking playing Glasgow, you know what I mean? And like all festivals around the world and all. That's the goal for any artist who's in my position now. But I just don't know, lads. You know what I mean? I can't. You know, because I don't know, lad. I don't know if I end up going into a band and then maybe not going as a solo artist, and then I'm just sort of part of a band, and then maybe we do well with the bands, or I could become a fucking grime MC, lad. You know what I mean? I don't know, lad. Anything could happen.
If you had to choose, would you rather get big as a solo artist or with a band?
You know what? Probably a band, to be honest. That's always since when I first started playing guitar as a kid. I've always wanted to be in a band, and like I think it's being a frontman or being like a solo artist. It's like you've got to you got to be centered of attention all the time. Which I don't mind being centered of attention, but not like all the time, lads. I'm not one of them type of kids. I don't think at the moment anyway. So I'd have a band, lads. But we'll see what happens anyway. It could take off like as a solo artist, or I don't know. We'll just see how it goes, innit?
Yeah. So what actually got you into playing guitar and into music when you were young?
One of my biggest influences on the guitar, was John Tenacious D.
Oh yeah,
I remember watching them when I was a kid, watching the film, and I thought, they're shit them, you know what I mean? And then I started I was into the guitar a little bit before, I was into all like your heavy metal bands, Metallica, Iron Maiden, all them ones, you know what I mean? And they all had proper mad guitar solos, and then obviously got into Jimi Hendrix and that. My dad got me onto Jimi Hendrix, and then got onto Pink Floyd and that, and then sort of all music where you've just got all heavy guitar solos. That's what I wanted to do as a kid. And then it's seen Tenacious D, and then they were the first band I seen live as well. And I was just because they were fucking hilarious to me as a kid. You know what I mean? I loved them, and then music was actually the proper good musicians as well. That Kyle Gass on the guitar is a proper heavy guitarist, and I don't know, lad. I think it's because I was just buzzing with them that much. I just wanted to sort of be like them, and I think that's also sort of where all these comical tunes that I've wrote as well sort of come from, but just like a Liverpool influence.
yeah.
So yeah, I got to credit Tenacious D is one of my strongest influences.
Yeah, it's quite a rare one now. I've never.
I know.
Been influenced by Tenacious D.
Yeah, very much it's like Oasis, you know what I mean? The Beatles, whatever, But nah, Tenacious D there.
Well, I came into this thinking, I'll be Beatles, sort of think that. Jack Black.
Yeah, Jack Black there, yeah.
Fair play.
And Kyle, the guitarist as well, he's belts a guitarist. And I think that's more, because they're more acoustic based, aren't they? Obviously I'm sure you've seen the film where, there's just, he's starting off, he's shredding on the acoustic, and he's just boss lads. I just put up it into rugby. And I think that's sort of what pushed me to sort of carry on playing guitar.
Well, I can't argue with that. Fair enough. So, obviously, in Liverpool, you're an Evertonian. So, I'd like to talk about football for a minute. Nah, I'm actually a Liverpool fan. I just what do you think about Everton's season? Like, where do you see you finishing?
Well, if I say we're going to finish in the top four, lads, probably finish in the bottom four, you know what I mean? Like, it's always the way, lads. Most times I went to see Everton, we've lost, lads, so anything I say positive about them sort of just goes back on my face, lads, it's like a case. But obviously, we had a good start, didn't we? I know we sort of slipped past the last two games. to like teams that maybe we shouldn't have slipped against. You know what I mean? So it's just one of them. I think I said this at the start of the season as well. I said the season after this one, the next one will be probably the prime Everton, because it'll be, we'll have another transfer window, and he'll have more time. You know what I mean? This was his first like start of the season, like with Everton, and obviously like he's made 3 new signings on. So I reckon the next season will be like Everton. I reckon they'll be better than what they were this season, but not doing them out. I mean, you still want to go for the top 4 finish. Like, I think a lot of people think we're convinced we're going to win the league after the first 4 games. You know what I mean? But I reckon we will do well. We'll do definitely better than last season.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. I think the main thing is just there's just the rivalry between Liverpool, isn't it? Winning the derby. You know what I mean? That's all most Evertonians are asked about. You know what I mean? But if I reckon we'll do all right this season, but next season we'll be in the prime. You know what I mean?
You've got a coach who, I'm not being rude, but he's probably like too prestigious to be Everton in Ancelotti.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
So he's probably going to take to levels which, like, I mean, you wouldn't have James Rodriguez without Ancelotti.
But, yeah, of course, and he's the type of a manager that will attract other players because they know what sort of a manager he is. Yeah. So it's not like no one's when we had David Moyes, no one's gonna James Rodriguez isn't gonna go to fucking the bottom half of the league table team with fucking a shit manager. You know what I mean? Ancelotti's won Everton with everyone he's been at. You know what I mean? So if anyone's going to pull Everton out the ground, it's going to be him, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's not very nice to see for me because I want Everton to be as low down the table as possible. But from a competitive standpoint, it's probably good. I mean, I presume you watched the derby. I don't know Pickford's tackle on Van Dijk, but
best thing you done all season, lad. Best thing you did. And it was a fucking... Yeah, I mean, lad, you should have won the derby. You should have. I mean, that goal wasn't offside as well. But one of them, lad, isn't it? I'm glad you never. Snide way to get a draw, but it was a draw nonetheless. But yeah, I mean, I think if Everton they were to stay at like a top team, it would be better for the city as well, because with them, they're getting a new ground as well, aren't they, on the Brandywore Dock. So if you've got 2 teams who are both like top, you know what I mean, proper top flight, then it's going to bring more tourism in. I mean, obviously you've seen, I don't know if you've seen on Twitter, but Everton put like shared one of my songs. Then I had all people saying like, "Oh yeah, greetings from Colombia" and all that, and like, "How much love from Colombia." So you get, because of Rodriguez and that, you sort of getting more people onto Everton. You know what I mean? As a team, so I think it would be good, having 2 teams, proper close competition. It'll do well for the city, definitely. Yeah. Especially with the new, as I said before, with the new ground and that as well. I mean, that'll look posh, and it'll be a proper more of an attraction than, Goodison. Because I know if you've seen Anfield now, it's a proper heavy stadium compared to Goodison. So it'll, I reckon, it should be good for the city, man.
Definitely. If Everton did get into Champions League, the amount of money it would inject into the city would be cool. I mean, where I'm originally from in Hull, just getting into the Premier League was massive for revitalising the city. Just because you have teams like Liverpool, Man United coming every week, and then the people who've never been to Hull, so then they go to see what the city's about, put money into local businesses.
Yeah.
And obviously, Liverpool like a tourist attraction. It just brings all those more European countries across. It'd be really good for the city.
It will, lad. It will. So I mean, that's. I see why. I know I've got some mates who cop whites like, but they say, "Oh yeah, we want Everton to do well." I mean, obviously, put the rivalry aside, if it's as a city as a whole. I mean, Liverpool winning the Premier League's done great things for the city. I mean, it would, if we in lockdown and all that, I mean, like the amount of dough that would have been brought into Liverpool, with all the celebrations and that, would have been like just massive, So I think with Everton and that as well, it only do good things for the city as a city, but I mean, obviously they are rivals, and at the end of the day, they are like two proper one of the oldest rivalries in football history, isn't it? So,
would you say the rivalry is bigger for Everton these days? And would you say like Liverpool, Man United is bigger in a Liverpool fan's eyes?
yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, before my time and that, in the 80s, it was, Liverpool and Everton, the two, like, you know what I mean? But I think because recently United have been more of a threat to Liverpool, Everton haven't won Liverpool in like 10 years, have we? So that's why the rivalry sort of not as, it's sort of just looked over because they don't really see them as a serious threat. But with United, especially like a few years ago, with Alex Ferguson and that, it was a proper, there's a proper beef, like, you know what I mean? And they could go either way. So, but I think now, hopefully, most Evertonians see it as a really proper, just want to beat Liverpool. You know what I mean? That we want to win the derby. But Liverpool fans, like, they know what it's like to win the derby. You know what I mean? Because they've won it loads. So that's, yeah. I mean, about now though, you've seen United now. They're the fuck all now, aren't they? So, hopefully we can become the main rival again.
It's like Alex Ferguson did all that hard work to, put Man United at the top in England, like surpass Liverpool's title wins, and Man United best team in England. Then Solskjaer's come in, and then it's looking very likely that could be 2 years in a row Liverpool were Premier League champions, and we already did it once. Definitely going to be there again, and he's done nothing to like stop it. I don't even, to be honest, I don't think he should be in a job. I don't know what you think. I don't know if you follow Solskjaer that much, but I think he's well beyond his depth.
Yeah. Well, that I agree, lads. I do really fucking. It's just fucking heavy, innit? I mean, that's the thing about the Premier League, though. Like, especially compared to other leagues, like, it's more like, there's more competition now than like in any other league. Like, there are some teams like who weren't even in the Premier League a few years ago. We were like coming like proper top teams. Aston Villa, they're doing well as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
This season, so it's that's the one good thing about the Premier League. It's up and down. I mean, it used to be United, Chelsea, and that. Even City before like 10 years ago were never nearly up so much. So it's teams are always coming up and down in the Premier League. So that's the exciting thing about it.
Yeah,
and you could have actually, potentially like Wolves winning it maybe in a few years, or you know what I mean, and it could happen.
we look at Leicester, obviously.
Exactly, that's it.
I mean, they've got Brendan Rodgers at the moment, and he was on 5 Live or something the other day, and he was saying he doesn't get the credit he deserves because he's British. And I completely agree with that, because you look at the job Nuno's done at Wolves, and Brendan Rodgers has probably done a better job. But an Irish, so he doesn't really get the credit he deserves. But I think he's a top manager. I always liked him, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's been, some people liked him at Liverpool, but some people didn't like him at Liverpool. I know, but he's alright, Brendan Rodgers. Like, I mean, I don't really follow them too much at the moment, like Wolves or nothing. Or like, I'm sure to just fucking, Liverpool and Everton are my main. Who I'm looking at now, like, so I don't properly follow like the little teams as much as maybe I should have, like, but I said little teams then, like, but the fucking, I was terrorising everything, you know what I mean? But like, a few years ago they were up to nothing, you know what I mean? But I don't know, lads.
Definitely. Well, Mason, thank you for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
John, it's been a pleasure, lad. Thank you very much for getting me on.
Thank you. So again, EP out 4th December. Links in the bio for to pre-save it, and just check out all Mason's stuff that he's already released. He's part of a thriving music scene in Liverpool, so you need to be a part of it. So thanks again, Mason, and cheers for watching.
And it's like, lads.